have the game I was playing earlier still open. That might be something to do with it too.
Let's see. Let me see if I can do anything here. Oh, getting a lot of white noise all of a sudden. Oh, there we go. It faded out.
Okay.
So I don't know what you did, but it faded out.
Yeah, I don't know what that was.
Okay, so we are live. Let me double check us. Yeah, it's been some weird shit this morning for some reason. I don't know why. I came in and I had to rewire everything.
That is not good.
No, it's not. I ended up putting a thing out that said, this is about the fourth time I've told people this, and if you would like to spend time with me, keep doing it, because I'll pull you out one by one, and we'll figure out why this keeps happening.
Yeah, definitely.
Basically, I went into teacher mode is what I did.
Yeah, because it's every time that we go into the studio, everything's like,
oh yeah, you got to set it back up.
Yeah,
it's so weird.
It should always be left in a ready state. Like it's like cleaning up after you do something.
Yeah.
It's like washing the dishes after you cook, is that kind of thing. Like you got to make sure everything's back where it was after you got through cooking.
I think last night Bwaaa was here by himself, and he had to do some stuff, and he's not super versed in all of it. So I got coffee around here somewhere, but I don't know what to do with it. All right, you ready?
Yep.
Okay, here we go. Hey there, welcome to Bwaaa, King of the Hill podcast. I'm Mike.
And I am Rusty.
That's Rusty coming to us from another dimension. How are you, Rusty?
I'm somewhere in the Twilight Zone.
There's Artie. How you doing, Artie?
I'm in between here and there and yesteryear.
They control the horizontal, they control the vertical.
Yeah.
So we just finished up with season 14.
We did. We did a really good job. It was 14 weeks of just King of the Hill.
I think 10 weeks, but we
10 weeks, not 14. 14 season, 10
That's
weeks.
Right. That's right. Yeah. We I think going into this, just as kind of a little bit of a recap, we didn't really know what to expect. We didn't know whether they were just going to crap out something and not really care because it was a money play, or with all the people that unfortunately have passed, how they were going to address their voices. Thankfully, they didn't go to AI. They just went to another actor, which is great. Artie says he sent season 8, episode 1 notes. I'll tell you this, Artie. We were absolutely planning on doing season 8, episode 1. But I was part of a sleep study 2 nights ago, and it kicked my ass. Like, I was so friggin' tired yesterday, and I didn't even realize I was tired. There is a picture of me that I sent out, and I might be able to get it up here, but I look like Darth Vader without his skin, because I had all the leads, and I had a big computer hanging around my neck and all kinds of stuff, and I had to sleep for 8 hours with that thing on. The one thing I told my wife I will not do is wear one of those masks all night. And so what they told me at that thing was, if you're breathing improperly, we will come in and put a mask on you. It didn't happen. So I was very happy about that. Now,
so you're not losing sleep from breathing improperly. There's something underlying.
Yes. And I can tell them what it is. That's the way I am. I've been this way my entire life. I get about 5 to 7 hours. I mean, if I want to be absolutely truthful about it, but, and that's just the way it goes. I enjoy my TV, and I'm going to keep watching it. I mean,
I've been tired since I graduated high school.
That's it, man. That's it. But having said that, I felt like season 14, and this was Rusty's idea as well, that season 14 needed a proper send off, because honestly,
well, it's just going with the trend. We've done this now pretty much I don't think we did it at first, but we started taking a breath in between seasons just to like give everybody just a pause and like, you know, kind of recap what we went over, what our favorite moments might have been, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think this one certainly deserves it because honestly, if I'm being 100% honest with you, I think season 14 was better than probably the last 3 seasons of King of the Hill, the regular
7,
show.
I would say 7 seasons because I'm not, like I said, I'm not a big fan of 8 through the end. So that was really what I wanted out of King of the Hill, waiting for, you know, since I was 19 and now almost 40 getting it. So it's like I've really wanted it, and they gave it in a way that made sense to me.
Yeah,
I know it didn't make sense to a lot of people, and I think a lot of it is cultural things in Texas that a lot of people don't understand, like Hank being in Saudi Arabia. A lot of people don't get that. And if you're from Texas, I mean, I've said it throughout the 10 weeks we were going through it. If you're from Texas, it's something that you understand. It's something you know that happens in Texas out in the oil fields and gas fields and stuff like that. People end up in different countries making tons of money in consult positions and stuff like that. But you know, I was skeptical at first when, you know, you had Peggy saying the F word in the leaked scenes and stuff. I was like, is this just going to be Peggy and Hank dropping F-bombs and middle fingers and stuff like that? I was like, are we taking them out of Saudi Arabia? And it's kind of funny. Saudi Arabia, suburbia, to the trailer park. Like, do they go from suburbs to Saudi Arabian suburbs now? Like, are they going to be gutter trash? So I was kind of skeptical about that, but they did it tastefully. That wherever they had her cursing at just seemed proper for what.
This is the same Hank, same Peggy that we left off with several years ago, and I, for one,
maybe a little freer. I think they're a little freer now.
Yeah.
I think they're a little more open than they might have been. I don't see Hank sitting down at a Japanese charcoal barbecue restaurant prior to this. If it ain't, it ain't happening.
Well, honestly, now the only reason he's doing it is because it's his son. So, you know, I mean, that's okay.
And I think that's okay. Yeah. I don't think he would have done it for his son before. I don't think he would have eaten charcoal. Well, he did eat there is that one episode where he did eat a charcoal burger. I want to say he didn't, but he didn't know it. So, but he did admit it was better. So he knows in the back of his mind that charcoal actually tastes better, but he is a propane man.
That's right.
It's like being working at a Ford dealership, but you know that Chevy is better, but you just continue to drive Fords because it's what you sell. You love them.
Yes. All right. So what I thought we would do is do a little recap on season 14, episode by episode, because there's only 10 of them.
Not too many.
It started August 4th, 2025. It is the first one that's on Hulu. I will say that the first show that I remember making this sort of switch from broadcast TV to a streaming service of any sort was Community. Community did a season on Yahoo. If you can visualize that, which is insane at this point, because there's nothing on Yahoo at this point, but they were ahead of their time. And I do remember watching that final season on Yahoo and them dropping an F-bomb and me going, holy crap, this is a whole new world. You know, because and now you see it all the time. Like my wife watches all those NCIS, all the CSI stuff. And a lot of those have moved to either Paramount or one of those streaming services. And when they do, all bets are off. You see these same characters that used to say gosh darn saying other words now, and other situations, lots of more sexual type situations and things like that. And I'm a guy who I understand that's not for kids. I get it. And I think that the biggest problem we have in this country is us letting our kids be feral and just kind of doing their own thing, which kids got to be reminded about homework. Kids have to be reminded about rules. They have to be reminded to wash themselves, things like that. You can't just let a kid raise themselves.
Yeah, no, for sure. You can't. And I think a lot of it is technology, advances in technology and stuff that are making that worse.
True. Yeah, it's real easy to sit your kid down in front of an iPad and just let them go. Anyway, I am all for it. I think it has added to these shows, and the ones that want to be a little more creative about things, they get that creativity, because it used to be the only place you could do that was like HBO or something.
Yeah, yeah.
So let's talk about this. August 4th, every one of these episodes dropped. They dropped 10, which is new for King of the Hill. Also, episode 1, season 14, episode 1, Hank and Peggy move back to Arlen and struggle to readjust to their old life. Bobby runs into a childhood friend in Dallas. It was a great setup. Him getting off the airplane, kissing the ground, figuring out.
Oh, that was perfect. Yeah, him kissing the ground was just like. Hank.
Not only that,
like
but like
move.
Looking around in the airport and everything's fancy and it's all changed there now.
I kind of imagine him leaving Texas and taking a hand trowel and scooping up a handful of Texas dirt and putting it in a Crown Royal bag.
That's right.
And taking it with him to wherever he was going, Saudi Arabia.
I think it'd be a Megalomart bag, but yeah.
Or this is what I imagine even happened is the Saudi Arabian government. Everybody knows the amount of money, especially right now in the world. Like they just, like 100 comedians just pissed off the entire, internet sphere by going over there.
Yeah.
But I thought it would be funny if they had a contractor that came and specifically shipped tonnage of Texas dirt, and that's. They said, we'll build you a house on Texas dirt if you come to Saudi Arabia.
That seems very much
actually on Texas dirt.
That seems very much like a Dubai type thing, they would do that. Definitely. I was born on an Air Force base in Taiwan. So, the 1-to-1 there it's basically it is American soil because it's a U.S. Air Force base.
Absolutely.
Okay. I really enjoyed the part about the Uber. I enjoyed finding out that Bill is a 500-pound man.
That was unsettling. I think that was unsettling. I was kind of upset that they went that direction with him. Honestly, I really wanted it to go the other direction, where Bill kind of like comes up out of a funk and he's doing better and stuff like that. But I guess if they want to stay true to 13 seasons of King of the Hill,
you got it.
If he was going to heal, he would have healed.
He just can't do it without Hank there.
Yeah, he definitely couldn't do it without Hank.
Yeah,
but I'm just I didn't really like the
and that
500-pound back to the 280-pound guy. Like,
yeah, but man, come on, it's a cartoon. When it comes down to it, it is a cartoon. It is an animated show.
Well, it would have been great if we got one episode where he is wheeled out.
They put him on a treadmill the whole time or something,
or he's wheeled out on a gurney, like a bed, like a hospital bed that he just rolls around in. That's like on a automated thing where he just wheels himself out there. That would have been good.
Look at this. We got Jared R. And then we have the Rusty Shackelford show.
That's me.
Oh, that is you.
That's me.
Oh, okay.
That's my YouTube. Right. Yeah,
okay.
I have that's my YouTube. What I post under is the Rusty Shackelford show.
Okay. I like that. Yeah. I like that a lot.
With a little bomb or whatever.
Yeah, I like it a lot. That's nice. Okay, so that was season 1, and I think all of our fears were kind of quelched by that first episode. We found out that it was what we were hoping it would be. Also, remember that right before this, we had interviewed Jonathan Joss for the last time. Nobody knew it was going to be the last time, but we went into this with a lot of fears. I mean, it
was electric going into this for sure.
It was
positive and negative. There's a lot of ions going around for sure.
Yes.
Going to the event, having a hell of a time at the event.
Mm-hmm.
The whole controversy surrounding the event, being a part of that, and not even just being a part of it, being an intimate part of it later on as well. And then all the aftermath of that, and getting to talk to and meet a few people that were in his sphere. It was just we went from being an outside commentary to now being an inside kind of, like, we have like this greater perspective. Not, I wouldn't say fully, obviously, but we have this now the window's open and we're like saying hey through the window kind of thing. We're not looking in the window anymore. We're on the windowsill having a conversation now. So it's kind of it was a surreal thing for me, for sure, for like the whole show.
We went from Arlen resident to Bill. We are basically Bill now.
Yeah, we're there. Yeah. We're on the block. So it was
right.
it was your camera messed up. It was really awesome to get to talk to him at all. You know, like I said, I wish there was more conversation to be had than what we had, but it was definitely interesting, and I don't know, it was a bittersweet thing. And then there was just me. If you could see there, I'm watching Julia Child's baking show. She is
there I am.
Okay. I found Julia Childs again. Remember, that was my comfort show for a while, and then they took it off of Pluto TV. I have all of the fast streaming services, the free ad-supported TV streaming services, and Xumo, XUMO, whatever one that is, that has all of the Julia Child stuff, the baking. It has the ones where she has the celebrity chefs from the 80s and 90s, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're back on that again.
That's the other one I want to just shortly give a shout out to is Pluto TV having that cool room at the event that we were able to go in there and meet some folks and have some fun. I mean, that
was interesting.
We were just looking for a place to sit down.
Lady.
Yeah, we were just looking for a place to sit down, but we basically found a new friend, and I got my aura taken a picture of and all kinds of stuff. So it was a ton of fun.
From what I understand is that they're supposed to be doing the same thing for season 15.
Oh, really? That'd be great
for an ATX thing. So if they do that, guys, we will definitely be there. We'll make it a point to be there.
Yeah, 100%. I have already reached out to the people about some other things too.
Well, not only that, this time I'm not just in the middle of starting the new job. I will have started. I will be into my new job, and I'll have plenty of expenditure for vacation and things like that. So I'll be able to take off to be there. Not only that, actually, they do it on the weekends anyway. So really, I'm off Thursday, Friday, and most Saturdays, every other Saturday. Cool. So it might end up working out where I don't have to do anything. But yeah.
All right. Season 14, episode 2, The Beer Story. Hank and Bobby are competitors in a home beer brewing competition. Boomhauer bonds with Luke Jr. over non-alcoholic beer. This is probably my least favorite of all 10.
The beer episode, the beer competition stuff.
Yep.
You know why it's not my least favorite? Because I always enjoy seeing Hank and Bobby in competitive stuff or competitions or like the shooting thing when they go and shoot, or when Bobby wants to do this and Hank tags along, whether it's a sporting thing or whatever it is, and Hank's always there with him, because I think it again shows that Hank, no matter what silly beer's not silly, obviously that's why he liked it a lot more, but whatever silly stuff Bobby wants to try out or do, no matter how apprehensive Hank is of whatever that thing is, he's always there with him to do it. He's always by his side and supports him no matter how much he doesn't want to.
I still enjoyed the episode. I'm just saying it as a whole of the 10, that's probably my last one. But it was still a good episode.
Yeah. It's
still a great episode.
It's on the lower tier. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Next one is
it was all right.
Go ahead. Next one is episode 3. Bobby gets grilled in search for his authentic Robata charcoal. Bobby is accused of cultural appropriation. The Hills and the Gribbles go to the Bush Presidential Library where Dale incites an incident. This one I enjoyed because we got to see however much you hate Chain, he is now part of this new story, and we got to see how big a dick he is, and we got to see what lengths Bobby would go to make his restaurant successful, and then we also got to see what lengths Hank would go to approve of what his son is doing and show his son some love in his own special way.
I like the cultural exchange in this one.
Yeah.
You got people pressing Bobby about authentic Japanese charcoal and things like that, which, it is unique charcoal to Japan. And the only thing that makes it unique to Japan is the fact that the wood that it's made of is only found in Japan. Otherwise, there are similar types of charcoal. It's not like the Japanese discovered charcoal. It's a specific wood charcoal that's made. So that's what you get, the specific charcoal for the specific flavor, which is what charcoal and wood and smoke is all about. That's why propane is not as good, because tasting the heat, as Hank says, is actually a style of I don't want to say seasoning, but I guess it's kind of a way that you could make your meat taste different or better or whatever you want to call it.
Taste the meat, not the heat. I also like this one for the cultural appropriation conversations that they had in it.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
King of the Hill has never been afraid to approach things like that and give it a little jab. And it was a really good way to do it in this one.
Yeah, because it wasn't even a Japanese. Well, he was a Japanese man,
right?
But it wasn't even a traditional Japanese man. It was an American Japanese, a guy who was half Japanese kind of thing. So that's what I appreciated about it is that it showed the diversity of culture in America. You know, you might grow up in a two-culture household. Your dad might be an American, your mom might be English in my situation, or your dad might be from the middle of India and your mom might be from, Vietnam or whatever.
Right.
Like that's what America's all about, is this melting pot kind of thing. And I think that this particular episode really kind of like speaks on that, even though everybody's kind of like pressing him at first. They're like, oh, okay, you're not appropriating anything. You're just making Bobby food. And Bobby food just happens to be similar to these things, similar to the things that these cultures have.
The next one is episode 4, Chore Money, Chore Problems. Hank joins an app for handymen and struggles to get a good rating. Bobby learns that Connie is dating a mutual friend. So this is where we get the, non-committed monogamy or whatever it's called.
Which I was very uncomfortable with that exchange.
Yeah,
because I know what that meant on their level. I know what that like entailed. I know that was a power tool used by Shane Wasanasong to be able to use Connie. She's an attractive woman, intelligent at that, but also naive. So he was able to. I feel like that's what it became. She kind of shows, that she doesn't really care that, oh yeah, I'm a part of it too.
Yeah.
But I feel like that was just so she could have that sexual relationship, and not have to worry about being with a bunch of other people. Because I doubt that she was actually out there dating and sleeping with other people. Shane probably used that.
Absolutely agree with you. Yep. The next episode is the football episode. Hank secretly becomes a football referee. When we say football, we mean soccer in this point. Bobby goes to buy a car and leaves the dealership with a horse. I like this one because we get some John Redcorn that Jonathan did record before his untimely demise. And we get it's a weird story where a guy makes him take a horse home with him, but I get it.
It feels like there's a parable here, like two Chevys are worth a horse in the bush.
That's right. Like yeah. But the soccer stuff for Hank, I thought that was really cool because it shows again Hank's his open mind. He is willing to be diversified. You just have to tell him why. That's really it. And
also I think a lot of what Hank is too is he's real hesitant about stuff because of all the preconceived notions behind things or what he's been told about stuff. But like when he goes to Saudi Arabia, the main sport they watch is obviously going to be football, soccer, So I think, when in Rome, Hank has no problem with participating and stuff. He's not one of those people that will move somewhere and make you do what he wants you to do. He's going to see what you guys are about and learn what they're doing. So I feel like he went over there, appropriated some of their culture, and learned a little bit about soccer.
Well, and we find out some of that in the next episode too, which is Peggy's fade out. Hank discovers that Bill's new coworkers think he's married, while Bobby discovers Connie's boyfriend may be cheating on her. Peggy struggles with her self-identity after getting rejected from she was supposed to be a teacher or something online, and she was rejected from that. So Bill has made up this big story with his new black barbershop friends that he is married to Peggy and he's helped Hank lose 500 pounds. And
that's a really good story.
It's a great story. Yeah.
The only thing that's unsettling about it is how willing Peggy is to participate. That was the only thing that I really did not appreciate about that episode is her willingness to carry on with the charade and also like egg it on. Peggy's egging on the man's mental illness, and I didn't really find somebody that too cool.
All Peggy wants is somebody to point the camera at her, and that is exactly what it did. And then at the end, it bit her in the butt once again. But great episode, great Bill centric episode. I enjoyed the fact that Bobby and Connie kind of came to terms in this one. She's like, yeah, no, he's going and seeing other people. That's when they have that big conversation. Bobby's okay with it. And then it also gives Bobby an open door to reintroduce himself to Connie. And we see that in some later episodes. The next one was episode 7, Any Given Hill Day. Bobby tries to bond with Hank at the Dallas Cowboys fantasy camp, but Willow interferes. Peggy starts a lending library in effort to bring the neighborhood together. So the Peggy part of the story I really enjoyed because of the bed bugs. That was fun to see that she was trying to do something good, but she brought bed bugs to the entire neighborhood. And then that, of course, gives us a lot of Dale, which is always wonderful. But the Dallas Cowboys football camp, the funny thing about that is the day that we reviewed that one, I think it was either 2 days before or the day before, Micah Parsons left the team and went to the Green Bay Packers. So we're watching an episode that's already out of time. You know?
Yeah, we did mention that. Yeah, we did mention that.
Yeah.
And actually, it was kind of funny. I was walking through, I want to say it was Walmart.
Yeah.
Because Walmart has since, I don't know, they seem to have partnered up with some better companies for clothing and stuff like that over the last few years. There was a bunch of NFL licensed jersey, like actual NFL licensed gear at Walmart, and it was like Dick's was offloading all the Micah Parsons jerseys and shipped them over to Walmart and let them put them up for a discounted price. But it was all Micah Parsons jerseys, or at HEB there was like a bunch of Micah Parsons Funko Pops or something, like all on the shelves.
You can go over to Walmart. You can go over to Walmart and get your Super Bowl loser shirts. You know.
That's a collector's item, because what's going to happen is Micah Parsons is going to get a Super Bowl with the Green Bay Packers, and he's going to retire as a Cowboy. He's going to go over there for a year and retire.
Yeah.
And that's going to, that's going to have some value with his signature on it if you can get him to sign it.
That's probably right. The next one, conscious uncoupling. So this is the one where we, it says Supa News and Phones throw a lavish anniversary party to hide a secret that only Hank knows. Bobby is stressed out catering the party while trying to help Connie. So we find
this
out.
This one's kind of wild.
It is nuts. Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's like, I could never imagine. I don't think any time I ever experienced in my life where a couple that it's either they got divorced, they hated each other for 50 years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they don't just get divorced and hide it and then still live together, and the dad lives in the shed, like, or the garage. I don't know if that's maybe that's something that's particular to Laotian culture. Maybe that divorce is so bad, and maybe that when they do divorce, the dad has to sleep on the couch or something. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I thought it was really odd. I just I know that they have always tried to keep up with the Joneses, but I never thought that they would go to that like extreme to keep up with the Joneses or the Hills.
You know, honestly, Khan's as bad as Peggy, if not worse, when it comes to that sort of thing. He wants to be on top, wants to be liked by everybody. You know, he's just a Laotian version of Peggy. But we find out that they've been divorced for a while. Khan's been living in the garage. We also find out that Bobby has a tough time with the catering of this big event, but that tends to work itself out. But then the way the secret gets out is Dale has a hidden camera there, and unfortunately hits the wrong button and shows Bobby and Connie talking on the big screen. Everybody figures out what's going on. And in the end, we find out that Hank and Peggy are more secure with each other than they ever thought. And so great episode. No Hank Left Behind is episode 9. Hank takes good Hank to a men's camp to instill good vibes, but the camp is not what Hank thought it would be. Peggy stays at Bobby's apartment after getting an MRI. I really enjoyed this one. And it's because this felt like a season 7 episode of King of the Hill. This was an old school Hank Peggy episode that had a decent morality story at the end for both parties. Hank ends up being fooled by this thing at the beginning, then figures it out, saves his son from it, and also saves the rest of the room from it. And Peggy is able to get closer to Bobby. Bobby figures out that he's not been spending enough time with his mother. They bond over a few things, and this is a very Hill family loving episode. And
I agree. I like
it is probably, this one and the next one are my favorite episodes of season 14. This was a really, really good one. Plus the pencil wars, which are always fun.
That was probably my favorite part of it. Yeah. Cause I totally forgot all about that until I seen that. Yeah. I remember doing that as a kid. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Last one, season 14, episode 10, a sounder investment.
A sounder is a herd of pigs.
It's a herd of pigs. Peggy and Hank's friends start a pig eradication business, but Hank is hesitant to join them. Bobby and Connie struggle to bond as adults. In the end, Bobby and Connie are closer than they have been in years, which I really like that. Joseph is also there, which is always the case. The pig killing thing is almost secondary to all of this because it's more about Hank and his friends and his wife, and it is a good episode, and I don't even care really what the subject was. This is old school King of the Hill right here. This is the perfect way to go out in the season as well. So this was the pretty bow on the brand new car in the Christmas commercial for Hyundai. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
So all in all, I don't know. If I was going 1 out of 10, I would give this season a solid 9. I thought it was
8.5, 9. Good. It was good, solid episode.
The only thing that throws me off every once in a while is the animation, but I get used to it. And
it's actually not as bad as I thought it was.
It's not.
Yeah, I really thought it was going to be a lot more jerkier, but
it's not like we're watching Paper Dolls or anything, you know.
Like they said, the technology that they used is just gone. It doesn't exist anymore. So
yeah. Well, anyway, that pretty much ties up season 14.
You know, that's why they can't make CRT TVs anymore. Is not necessarily because we don't have the capacity to make them and the stuff to do it with. We don't have the tooling for the machines anymore. We don't have the stuff to create them. We would have to rebuild from the ground up the entire industry because there's no residual stuff left behind. Like they had vinyl has existed for a long time and it never died out because there was enough enthusiasts with vinyl that vinyl just didn't die. Cassettes too. They still make cassettes and stuff. So those things were somehow survived. Even VCRs, there's people still making new VCR tapes. So even that stuff survived, but the technology to create the CRT TVs and the technology to create the VCRs, I'm sure in a foreign country somewhere, I'm pretty sure there's still probably third world countries that still manufacture and sell them. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Yeah, honestly, the other day I found myself wanting a VCR for something, and I can't even remember what it was for. But all right, so I swear to God, next week, season 8, episode 1.
Episode 1, back on the wagon.
Back to our regular format, and we hope that you all are able to join us. You want to tell them where they can find us?
Yeah, you can find us at BWAAA KOTH at all social medias, and you can also email us at BWAAA KOTH at gmail.com.
Awesome. We are so thankful for all of you guys.
Yeah, appreciate
it. Thank you for sticking with us for this weird way we did season 14. And we'll get back into it and just keep coming back. It works. So we love you. Thanks a lot. And one thing left to say.
Oui, Matanya.
Oui, Matanya, indeed. See you. Okay. Found my
Alrighty.
All right. Do you have anything for Friday?
I did not have anything for Friday. Okay. I was hoping somebody would send me an email or something, but I didn't.
Give me 1 second here. There were a couple of things.
There was a couple of articles or whatever that I'd seen.
We already covered the cracked one, right? That what's his face did.
Yeah. There was a What was it?
Oh, I do have one thing I want to talk about. And Vulture has included King of the Hill as one of the top 25 must-watch TV shows. Oh, that's not what I want. That's why it didn't come up. Past month, actress. Okay. All right, let's do this. This one's about Lauren Tom. Also, I want to talk about Jonathan Joss being left out of the Emmys.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. Hey there, welcome to Bwaaa, King of the Hill podcast. I'm Mike.
And I am Rusty.
He is still Rusty, and he's still coming to us from a different dimension. Rusty, this is a That Ain't Right Friday, and what we generally do on these episodes is we talk about things that are adjacent to the King of the Hill universe, and today is no different. A couple things I've got, and then we'll just kind of keep it nice and short. And then on Monday we will start again with season 8, episode 1. So this one's a little more depressing, so I'm going to get it out of the way first. You know, every time there is an award show in Hollywood, there is an in memoriam section. You know, whether it be the Oscars, the Emmys, the Tonys, whatever, right? They do an in memoriam to talk about the people that were part of the industry that contributed. In some, you'll even get like sound effects manager or something like that, right? And they'll talk about it, or they'll at least put them in a slideshow and show it to everybody. People were a little incensed that Jonathan Joss was left out of the in memoriam for the Emmys, and I think they have every right to be a little miffed about that. I don't care whether and it's really weird to me that Hollywood kept him out.
Well, Jonathan Joss too, especially, like they were kind of upset about a few others, and I don't really know the others' careers outside of Hulk Hogan. I don't really know Jerry Adler's career or what was the other lady's name? Danielle Spencer. I don't really know much about their careers or whatever, but I know that Jonathan Joss was a staple on television from the 90s. You know, he always played the same character, obviously, because that was something that we had discussed, you know, when he was talking about his mental health and how he felt about the state of Hollywood in terms of Native American casting. And he'd been on TV for a long time, been on a lot of different TV shows, and he'd been on some of the most popular TV shows of their time. King of the Hill, you know, obviously that's his bread and butter as far as fame goes. But then you have Parks and Recreation, which he had a massive role in that was really, really good. His character was bigger than life in that particular, and he cherished that role because they put him in a suit and they let him not just be the Indian in a leather you know, cut off vest. And he also was in the Tulsa King, which is his most recent. Which would probably be his most recent role, I would imagine, would be Tulsa King, which just released its 3rd season, and he played a guy on there called Badface. So just leaving him out of TV is weird, you know, especially when he's been on Emmy award-winning shows. All the shows he's been on that I just named are all. I'm not sure if I think Tulsa King got an Emmy because it's been out for 3 years now, but I think they even if they did or didn't, it's still a critically acclaimed show.
Yeah, I just don't think it matters. I think that you were a big part of TV and you should be included. You know, I mean, I've seen some of those. Part of TV. That's what I'm saying. I've seen some of those in memoriam segments, and there are a lot of people in there I don't know. Jonathan Joss was one that I knew from two TV shows that I liked very much. It makes no sense to me that they did that, and a lot of fans are calling it cruel, which it's funny that Jonathan Joss lived an alternative lifestyle and had some shady things in his past, but boy, if that's not Hollywood to a T, I don't know what is, you know?
And honestly, there's a lot worse in Hollywood, you know, regardless of the circumstances of his life or whatever it may be. What I got was a truly passionate human being that was severely misunderstood most of his career. And yes, had a problem with substance abuse. Who doesn't? Who hasn't?
Sure.
Kind of thing, you know. And his,
especially these days,
his was just larger than life. Like his just was bigger than he could be, kind of thing. So
let me tell you when it ticked me off. It was the other night. My mother was in the hospital. She had a procedure, and we had to sit there and watch the stupid hospital TV with my dad, right? With no sound, number one, by the way. Dancing with the Stars was on, and there is Alec Baldwin's wife dancing with these other mid-level whoever's, and Andy Richter, by the way, was dancing, which is weird.
Oh, Andy Richter.
But they go out to the audience, and there's Alec Baldwin just cheering, and he's happy, and he's sitting with all his kids, and you wouldn't know that he called his daughter a pig one time and got drunk and yelled at her on voice memos. Then he fatally shot somebody during a movie. This guy has had all kinds of things happen, but he keeps getting welcomed back into Hollywood.
Kevin. Well, I think actually Kevin Spacey ended up getting cleared of all wrongdoing, which is kind of sad because they dragged.
You don't see him. Yeah.
But you don't see him anywhere, even though, and then like, honestly, if you look at, Pee Wee Herman and Paul Rubin, he kind of got pushed out of the industry too, because everybody associated him, you know, masturbating as him being a pedophile, in which he wasn't at all. He had nothing. There wasn't even any inkling of that ever in his career. Now he was a closeted gay man his whole life, but other than that, and I don't even think he was that closeted really. I mean, he could be in the closet all he wants, but I think it was pretty common knowledge.
Yeah. After a while, definitely. If you haven't seen that I Am Pee Wee Herman documentary on HBO Max, please go watch it.
It's a beautiful documentary.
It's very good. Very well done.
I have always appreciated what his comedy was. I really appreciate those kind of comedians like him. I know that's nothing to do with what the King of the Hill, but or Jonathan Joss, but I really appreciate comedians like him in memoriam, since we're doing a memoriam thing. Comedians like him, because you know, it's like him, what's his name, Andy Kaufman. It's like that style of comedy, and I really appreciate that style of comedy.
It's a brand new style when they started it. It was a brand new style of comedy, and
his whole stand-up was the fact that he was playing a guy who sucked at stand-up. That's so genius, because you can stand up there and bomb, but that's the point. That's what that's the whole, like, you've got to be so funny that it transcends like what traditional stand-up comedy is. Traditional stand-up comedy is standing there and having a good set, and his whole goal was to stand up there
and have a bad set.
He was being a guy who wanted to have a good set, pretending to play a guy having a bad set, and it ended up being like revolutionary. And you know, we know that, you know, that ended up being, you know, Pee Wee Herman and that whole TV show and all that.
Two of my favorites, Pee Wee Herman and Andy Kaufman. All right, second part of the show. I'm going to parents.com. I know it's a weird one, but this is an article about Lauren Tom. It says the actress behind iconic moms on King of the Hill and Futurama reveals how her grandmother inspired her. Now, Lauren Tom was she was one of the ones on the panel that we went to see in Austin, and she was the most excited person there to be part of another season of King of the Hill. It was so very endearing.
That was there for sure.
Yeah,
I thought it was cute how they talked about Pat Najimy and how that she was anytime she saw any inkling of anything about King of the Hill throughout the years, she would always send it to everybody like, "Are we coming back? Are we coming back? Are we coming back?" Which I love that enthusiasm, because that shows that show was more than just regular TV. And that's what I felt from them on the stage, to be honest with you, is like it feels like it's more than just a regular thrown together show. Like everybody seems emotionally tied to it in a way that, because you got to think about it. 13 years they did it for, and there's been this huge gap of time. And for some of them, that's some of the most popular. I don't know Lauren Tom for anything other than Futurama and that. I don't know anything she's done other than that. You know what I mean? So, and then Kathy Najimy, if I wouldn't have known that, if I wouldn't have known what she looked like just based on her name, I wouldn't think nothing about, if I wouldn't know anything about her, you would just think Kathy Najimy, King of the Hill, because she's on every episode, so I don't know.
That was a fun time. But it says that she was, if you might know her from the Disney Channel show Andy Mack. I don't even remember that show, or the movie Joy Luck Club. I didn't realize she was in that. So that goes to your point. But she played both Connie and Min on King of the Hill. She says that the new season is exploring Connie's rebellious phase. Connie's parents keep a notoriously strict leash on her. A central part of the plot line of the show is their disapproval of her relationship with Bobby. But in the reboot, Connie is off to college and exploring her more rebellious side. In one notable episode from earlier this summer, Connie tells Bobby that she's practicing what she calls ethical non-monogamy. I absolutely was overjoyed to see that Connie had stepped into being able to find her voice more and be able to just speak up to her mom. She said she tapped into her own background to highlight cultural nuances in the characters' relationships. Part of Connie's character growth stems from the fact that over the years, Tom has created a complex mother-daughter relationship between Connie and Min, one that's partially based on her life. Let's say that I had tiger parents, and there's good and bad in that, says Tom, who is Chinese. A lot of times, immigrants will have very, very high expectations for their children, which actually can turn out to be good because it pushes them to strive to meet their parents' expectations. Now, some viewers may not necessarily understand some of the cultural nuances behind Connie's parents' belief that her daughter can do better than she's supposedly low-achieving Bobby Hill, but the challenges of maintaining a healthy relationship with a mother who has been demanding and harsh in the past, well, that's relatable to many, many people. She says, I think it's just a matter of finding a happy medium. Tom says a parenting in men's style, which the show makes clear is based on love, but still holds Connie to a high level. They certainly did that. You're going to push your child away by giving them the message they're not loved unconditionally and that they're only loved if they perform a certain way. It's dramatic that Tom herself is familiar. It's a dynamic that Tom herself is familiar with and one she drew on to create the characters of Connie and Min. I think that's a really cool, and it's a long article. If you want to go over to parents.com and search for Lauren Tom, you'll find that article. It's a good, it's a nice, what it felt like to me is an article you read on a plane, like in one of those magazines, but it is parents.com. So it's very easy to read. But it's cool to see. I don't know that I've ever seen an article on that woman. And to be honest with you, I did not recognize her when she came out on stage. I just know her by the voices.
Yeah, I didn't at all. Yeah, I just know her by her voices. That's probably the first time that I've actually seen her face. Yeah.
Yeah. And I love seeing this background on these characters. I would love to see more on Toby Huss and how he grew up and where he came from and things like that, because I know that dude has been involved in a lot of stuff.
I'm trying to get into his ear on social media. I've been.
Oh my God! You get Toby Huss on here, I'll kiss your bare naked feet.
Yeah, please don't. But I'm trying. Yeah, you don't have
just an offer, Rusty. Just an offer.
Yeah. I'm okay on that. Maybe Artie. Maybe I'll let Artie kiss him.
Sure. No, I think that I think we're only made better by knowing these people and how they came up and where they dig down deep to find these characters. I don't necessarily want to know everybody in Hollywood's political beliefs, but I know they don't want to know mine either. So I'm okay with that. Let's just talk about how we grew up and how we're similar rather than how we're different. And
yeah, absolutely. That's what I want. That's what I would love to be able to do with some of these people is learn more about what makes them who they are. And I think that was what the unique thing about getting to talk to Jonathan Joss was we didn't get we were in a very relaxed, I have to say I was the appearance. I had smoked a 5-gram joint right before that. So the appearance, I appeared relaxed, but inside of my body, there was a little ball bearing about this big, just bouncing from the feet to the top of my head, and I was just so nervous. But that conversation with him and everything, after the show and everything, and just during the show, during the actual interview, just getting to hear his perspective on things where he's not talking for television. Because if you look at his TV interviews, they're obviously way different than what we got. Like a lot of his television interviews, he's not sipping a White Claw and just smoked a bit of weed. He's not as loose. He's there for a PR reason, or he's there for other things. There's other things that he was involved in throughout his years that there's footage of him online. Whatever causes he was attached to and things like that he was doing speaking events for. So, he's a dynamic human being and like the guy.
Yeah, it was a shame, but we really enjoyed our time there. I want to say thank you to everybody that stuck it out here. You guys are the best as far as fans go. We could not do this without you guys, and
we really appreciate you guys. And
we'd be a little crazy to do it without you, but
it would just be two dudes talking to each other through a camera. Well, right now, anyway, we're usually in the same room, but
absolutely. Again, next week we'll start back up with season 8, episode 1. But I just want to say thank you to everybody, and I hope you have a wonderful weekend. And let's get the plane ready to land for season 15, also.
And the plan that I have come up with for stickers is once you get that box of stickers or whatever it is, or however many you're shipping to Artie, I will make an announcement here on the channel. I'll tell everybody. Artie will post on Facebook. Yeah. All you have to do is put a one, put like a 1 or whatever in the comments. Yeah. And then we'll reach out and get the addresses for each individual.
Cool.
And then work that out. And then I'll try to dig up the ones. I still have the addresses. I just have to access them. If that I don't know how Google Sheets still works. So hopefully it captured those addresses still and hasn't timed.
I'm sure it did. We I am working, this is just an aside, I'm working on a merch store for Rogue in general, so expect to see a couple of Bwaaa type merchandise on there, because I will attack those first, and they will be like a drop ship type thing, so you'll be ordering through us, but somebody else will be making it, which I think is probably the best way to start this thing off. But we'll come up with a couple of things. I know that Rusty and I both wanted to get into shirts that kind of reference stuff that we said during the show, or different things. Like, we're not going to put out "That's My Purse" merchandise. We'll put out something. We can't
do anything like that.
No, we'll put out something really, really niche and
just different stuff. Yeah.
So I think that's it for us for Friday. Only one thing left to say there, Rusty.
Well, I think it would go great on a shirt, and I'm not sure what you would put on it to make it not offensive, but I think it would be great with like a Native American headdress, and it just says Wimitanye with the Native American headdress in the back, or the crane, or
the crane,
or a crane. And like a crane, and then like a feather or something, and then like Wimitanye somewhere on there with the crane from the. We'd have to find out exactly the Texas crane that is, and get a good image of it or whatever. Find a usable image, but to tie it all in and wrap it all up, I think we need to get Wimitanye tattooed. I have talked to Scuba Velli about tattoos, and Scuba Velli said that he is willing and wants to participate. So
I'm willing to do it. That's fine.
I just gotta do the logistics with him and figure out what that's going to entail. So
just let him know we'll be filming it. So
yeah, he's cool with that. Yeah, he's cool with that. Yeah. So
I didn't think he's never been shy around a camera. So
no, not at all. He's hilarious. Like he's probably one of the funnier people in town. Like his humor is like what I like. I get his humor.
I have to tell you sometime when we're in the same room about when I saw him do stand-up one time.
It was stand-up?
Oh, my God. It was the most uncomfortable thing I've ever seen in my life. But it was awesome. Fantastic. Yeah. It was supposed to be that way.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, we love you, and we'll see you next time.
Wimitanye.
Wimitanye indeed. Bye. All right, dude.
All right.
Thank you for doing it. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, sorry.